Cosplay Sanctuary. This is your host, Scotty B. Friends, we are back again in another episode here on YouTube. You can find breakdowns of the episode on the podcast. What I mean by that is I come out with chunks, part 1, part 2, part 3 every week. You get 3 days of podcasts. You get a video from YouTube. And then if we've got guests, we put the guests on towards the end of the week. It's a fun format. And of course, we go live every week at the end of the week too. So pay attention to that. Check out that in the notes. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so that you know when there's new stuff coming out, because it's the only way that the algorithm and the powers that be are going to make sure that you even know I did anything, because that's kind of how things work here on YouTube. So the journey into madness. Here we go. Cosplay Validation. This is madness, folks. And this is a much more Doctor Strange themed podcast than probably what I'm going to do here in the video, because what I want to talk about here is the insanity that goes along with marketing ourselves in terms of cosplay or really anything else, and why we do it and why we don't seem to be able to stop doing it, why we keep pumping out content. I see people putting things out at 4 in the morning, 8 in the morning. I mean, it's all day. There's a story and they're at intervals, and people are obsessed with being able to hit some sort of a target, saturate a market, get enough views and enough reach. And you're doing it without a marketing firm behind you, most of you. You're doing it with some software maybe, and you're trying to figure out exactly when the most people are going to pay attention to you. And it is crazy that we spend so much time trying to get complete strangers interested in whatever it is that we're doing. And for the most of us, we don't even have an offer. Like, I don't have anything except advice that I'm giving you right now. I don't have a platform built that has a link to a video series that costs you something, right? I'm not selling you a video series called Avalon for $49.99. Watch out for that. But the reasoning behind all of this, why we spend so much of our lives, nights, weekends, all the time. People quit their jobs to do content full time. People quit their jobs with the insurance and benefit. Like, and maybe they're not great jobs, but that you will give up everything to pursue a hobby to try and turn it into a business is remarkable. It's daunting. You have to be careful about that. You better be very well funded for that. You better be willing to get out of a comfort zone. We do the quotes a lot. I like doing air quotes. The thing about your comfort zone, and the thing about the madness, and the thing about the control aspects of this is we end up stressing about nothing. We end up getting all upset that the cosplay didn't turn out, that we didn't get enough people at our booth, that the panel didn't like us, or we weren't getting along with someone on TikTok. There are all these problems that come up inside of the cosplay community, and they don't amount to much. Even when people feel the need to call you out on Twitter, is it really that big of a deal? Do you really have to get into it with them? Because what is it? What difference does it make? What are they going to do besides talk to other people that you don't know about you with no context? And those people are going to are they going to spend their time on that? They're going to spend their time. They're going to spend more time canceling you than they will paying attention to you, which is crazy. Again, that's madness. Look, you can make mistakes, okay? You can make mistakes on your platform. You can call people out. You can do this, you can do that, because at the end of the day, you don't really have much of a reputation as a small YouTuber or as a small influencer or any of these things. You're not that well known. You don't have a PR firm that's trying to make sure that you don't do anything silly all of the time. You're an individual, you probably have a job, or you're doing this full time and you're learning how all of it works. Maybe you're a costume designer, maybe you're a photographer, maybe you're an editor of some kind, design work, digital design, and you're using all of these skills to bring something to market. And that's really what it is. It's bringing something to market. It is a skill set that you sell as a service or a product. That's the ticket, not the pictures. The output isn't the photos that you put on the internet. It isn't the copyrighted material, because if you're using any of the, the Doctor Stranges, and that's an amazing edit and an amazing cosplay by Jedi Amanda, but that is borrowed. It's all made. You're the one who made it. You're the one who created it. But where all of this came from, it's all already somebody else's property. Someone else already had all the ideas so that you could be inspired to do it yourself. But it's not yours. If you are telling everybody, well, you're not telling anybody this, but if you're putting it out there like it's yours and you own that character, then that's wrong. Like, you don't actually own the character. And if you make mistakes in doing these things, if you make the mistake, like, you're really just trying to build a following, you're trying to get as many people to be interested in what you're doing on an ongoing basis. That's the whole point to this journey to madness. That is the sickness, I think, is the fact that we just can't put it down, that we can't get, we don't really have a direction or focus. It's just an ongoing thing. It's in perpetuity. You create the post, you get the likes, you create another post, you build another cosplay, you create the post, you go to the, it's never ending until you finally just say, like, well, I'm 55, I don't want to do this anymore, or whatever the case is, that you get in, you have a time with cosplay, and you get out, and you're never heard from or seen again anyways. So I don't know, like, from my standpoint, where does the social influencing, where do the influencers go? Where does all of this go when you're not on Instagram anymore? It fades to nothing in an instant. So it really is just while you're there. What's the cure? Well, what do we do? What do you do when this is how the whole world is wired and this is what you feel? Well, I think we've talked about it already in past weeks. You don't have to follow the rules. You can have your own path. People don't owe you anything. You don't owe them. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't have to post. You don't have to create and produce content so that they get bored, like they'll get bored and, oh, there's no post for me today. There's no 3 seconds of me to click on. There's no stories for me today. So I'm not entertained by you anymore. And you know that it's so hit or miss, especially in cosplay, that these costumes, this design, everything that goes into every single pose is actually a lot of work. It's so much work, even doing the show and creating all these episodes and creating all this content for you to watch literally 9 to 10 seconds of, in some cases. I mean, there's a lot of people who click through, maybe get the first minute, and that's it. So you have to, well, first of all, I guess you should really make that first minute count. But the problem with the long form content on YouTube, the problem with the content in general, is that, yeah, nobody has the attention span for it. This is the TikTok generation. They go to TikTok, they're flipping through things at 100 miles an hour. And why? Why do we need all of that? Why do we have to consume content at light speed? Is it the next fix? Is it the dopamine that we just can't really pay attention to anything anymore? Only we're desperately always trying to get people to pay attention to everything. And we have fictional rules about how we do it. This is all crazy. It's gotten so out of control in the last couple of years. We've all kind of emerged from our apartments and our homes after the whole unspecified virus of no unknown origin took place, and we are back at cons, and we are hitting it as hard as I've ever seen a group of folks hit it. They are constantly out there now. They are constantly circulating. They are always busy with something else. And I believe that we have forgotten sense of community in order to stay relevant in a digital space, which, again, to me, it's madness. So that's where we have today, folks. Do I have an answer? Do I have a cure? Well, I think we covered that. I think you just have to make rules for yourself, and you have to follow your own path and do it your own way and not care about how everything happens online or why you got 300 likes on this post and 1,500 on that one. Don't worry about it. Do what you want to do, or what makes you feel more fulfilled. If it's cosplay, if it's something else, but that we're in this space together, and it can be a great community, and that there is something that you can provide for that community, and you can continue to build in this space. This is Scotty B with the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary saying, see you in the next video, folks.